Hey there, book world. I'm KM Robinson, author of Golden. I recently got some amazing questions from some fabulous people, and I wanted to take a minute and answer those for you. So the first question is, what is my inspiration behind Golden? Well, I've always loved fairy tales. I've always loved princess stories. I've loved the big dresses and the long hair. And I loved Goldilocks because, well, her hair basically was my main draw to the story. But then when you dig deeper, it's a story about this girl who wanders into a house and just decides that she can set up shop within this house, that nobody's there and she can do what she pleases. And then she falls asleep and she's woken up by the bears and then they chase her away. And that's the end of the story. And I didn't really like that a girl would just wander into a house, kind of hang out, and then run away. And I knew there had to be more to it, and I knew I wanted to explore her hair. And so for a really long time, I thought that would be the best retelling. I've always been a huge fan of retellings, and when I was trying to think of what this real story could be, it actually took me quite some time. It had been a thought in my head for a really long time, and I tried to work out all the details and figure out why she was there and what she was doing and how I could work this stuff into it. And I had bits and pieces of ideas, but I never connected them until, gosh, a while back. It's been a few years, I guess it has. And I figured out that Goldilocks was not some naive little girl. She had been sent there for a reason. I knew she had to be there for a reason. And when I figured out that the reason was that she was trying to destroy the bears, well, things kind of fell into place. And I knew the bears couldn't be actual bears. They had to be people, so I changed the way that the word was spelled, and I made it a last name, and I knew I wanted to do a relationship between these three bears that was not necessarily father, mother, son, but rather some other kind of relationship. And so I created this brother relationship with this wife that came into the story. And between the three of them, we have this really interesting dynamic where Dove is this very strong individual, but he's overshadowed by his older brother who has issues of his own, and then so does Eden, or his brother's wife. And the three of them, just the way that they interact, I loved it. And I knew Dove had to have some kind of deep, dark background, so that kind of lent itself to what I was doing there. And so I brought my Goldilocks in, and I gave her a different name, and we brought the bears in, and then we kind of figured out why she was out to destroy them, and who had sent her, and all of this stuff fell into place, and that's how Golden came to be. And I knocked it out really quickly, and I figured out what I wanted to do for the other two books, and there we have it. So that is the story behind Golden. So the next question is, what is up with her hair? Okay, well, I knew with Goldilocks she had golden colored hair, and everybody assumes that that's like a white blonde kind of hair. But when I was a little girl, I had hair that was actually a little bit lighter than this. It's kind of along the lines of the color that it's over here in the sunlight right now. So my hair was a little bit lighter than this because I was out in the sun more. I don't get out much these days. And I would go into the store and I would match my hair color to the samples on the wall in the store of the hair dyes. And it was always the color golden. So I knew I didn't want that white blonde look because my hair was golden. And nobody has my hair color in books, which is something you're going to see come up in some of my other books because I have a thing for my hair color not being represented very well. So I really wanted to bring that into it, and I love long hair, so naturally she had long hair, and that's kind of how I came up with her hair being a little bit different than what the traditional version of that is. Now the third question is about Eden. Eden is a very unique character. She's got a lot of interesting backstory. Can you tell us the inspiration behind her character? I love Eden for many reasons. She is this very strong woman who has a lot of baggage, and she's got a lot of damage, and she carries a lot with her. And she's very overbearing, and she's very sarcastic, but she also has these moments of really quiet honesty and very kind and tender moments, but those only last as long as you absolutely need them to. They have to be absolutely necessary, and it's for very brief amounts of time, because then she puts those walls back up and she goes back to being her sarcastic, obnoxious self. But she's very, very protective, and she takes care of her family, she takes care of her people, and she even takes care of Auluria when it's time. And I really love that about her. And I love her backstory because there's so much that goes into Eden, and I love that we haven't explored all of that yet. And that is something that is going to be coming up in later books. And I really love getting to know her as a character because at first I did not think that I would like her that much, but I really, really did. So I hope that you like Eden as much as I did. She's quite the character to write, and she's a lot of fun to kind of hang out with. I feel like I would actually like her as a friend, which is interesting because she's a little more obnoxious than I would probably want to hang out with, but she's at heart, she's this really good person, and I would really want her on my team. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I hope that this was inspiring and this gave you a deeper insight into the world of Golden. I cannot wait to share more, and make sure you're sending in those questions because I love answering those for you. You can email me or message me or post them on my page, and I will be happy to get some answers for you. I'm KM Robinson, author of Golden, and I will see you in the next video. Stay inspired.